Hello everybody, how are you doing tonight? If you were here last week, we talked about what live streaming is. So if you're jumping in now and you're not really sure what the difference is between streaming and live streaming and all that kind of stuff, you can check out last week's show. The link is in all of the comment areas. But today we're going to talk about what the benefits are for live streaming your business particularly. There's a whole bunch of those, and the extra special benefit is that every single benefit we're going to talk about, with the exception of one, it not only is a benefit for you, but is a benefit for your potential customers and your live customers. So let's get the party started. So live streaming, right? You hear a lot about it. Maybe you're even thinking about doing it, and you really should be, especially if you're a small business. So let's talk about what the benefits are tonight, not only for you, but also for your potential customers and your current customers. It's really a major win-win-win kind of scenario for everybody. And there's so few of those in life. Why not cash in on this one? Okay, let me just bring this down. Looks like my mic is a little bit hot. Okay, there we go. So we're going to dive right in because we've got lots to talk about. Make sure I've got all the right things activated. And I think I do. Yes. Okay. So the number one for the list, it's not number one in order, it's just number one in our list tonight, is that it is going to help your brand, right? So it's going to help it build your brand. It's going to expand things like this. This is one of those content marketing kind of things that you need to be doing to get your brand out there, get it in front of people and all that kind of stuff. But let's talk about what that benefit actually is. And in your case, right, it's more exposure. That's what you're looking for. You're looking to get your name, your products, your services out in front of as many people as possible to increase the odds of, somebody finding that thing that they've been looking for, that solution that they've been looking for that you can offer. So this is something that takes care of that for you, because all of the things are very geared right now towards giving live video, and then the recorded version of the live video, extra bonus, they're going to give them extra weight in as far as your SEO goes. So they're going to show up as a suggested video and related content. When people are doing searches, they're going to bubble up higher, because search, Bing, YouTube, Facebook, all of these things right now are very, very focused in pushing and encouraging the live. And like I said, there's that extra benefit of the fact that even though you can't be live 24/7, your content and your live content is still flagged that way. And so it will come across that way, and it will be something that bubbles up. I just want to make sure. It looks like I just lost something. I want to make sure you're still there. Okay, we are still there. So this is a big win for you, right? Because this is going to boost it across the board for you, and make sure that people that you want to find you have a better chance of finding you, right? Because it's the needle in the haystack game on the internet, right? Especially for us small businesses. But by doing this, we're leveling the playing field, right? Because this is something we can do just as well or even better than the big companies, right? Because we're not weighted down by 50 people in the lawyer's department and the marketing department wanting to own everything, all right? It's our business. We're going to do what we want to do. So that gets us out there. Also, people are going to get to know you, which is, when they're comparing products that look the same, you're looking for something that's going to make you stand out from the crowd, right? You're going to look for that thing that's going to push you up on the list to say, wait, this is the one I want to talk to. This is the one I want to look into. That's what live is going to do for you. So this is going to help you just by virtue of your own passion and personality, is going to help people understand why your options are better for them. Whether it's a product or a services, what it is that makes them special, which is you, of course, right? And what you bring to it. And they're also going to start to understand that, you're somebody that they want to do business with, because they're going to pick up on who you are and how you come across, and the fact that you're not some nameless, faceless corporation, right? You're a person out there hustling just like they are. And if you have the product and service that they're looking for, win-win, everybody's happy. The other side of this is your potential customers or your existing customers, right? They all expect you at this point to be online. Okay, that's an expectation now from the audiences out there, right? As people are going through the checklist of, is this a viable company? Are they doing well? Will they be around tomorrow? Will they be around in 6 months? This is one of the things, right? They want to see that you have a website. They want to see that you've got an address that you share, right? They have ways to contact you, phone, email, that type of thing, that you're on the socials, right? This is another piece of that check mark, right? That this put you up higher. This comes across as more professional because you are paying attention to your business. at the level that they want you to be in order to want to reach out and do business with you, because they don't want somebody who is treating their business as a, yeah, when I get to it kind of thing, right? They want somebody who is invested in it, because if you're invested in your business, you're going to be invested in making them happy, and that's what they want. Also, this is going to help your users find you, right? Because again, we get back to this SEO stuff. If the search algorithms, right, are going to bump you up in the list, and instead of being on page 200, you're on page 1, 2, or 5, you've got a much better chance of being seen by the potential audience or your current audience. Now, why is this important for not just your potential audience, but your current audience? Well, your potential audience, obviously, it's findability, it's finding out who you are, what you offer, that kind of thing. But for your current customers, this also helps reinforce the fact that they made a good choice in doing business with you. And maybe it helps them also stay in touch with you, so that as you're offering new goods or services, or as they have a repeat need for the goods or services they bought in the first place, you will be front of mind, right? And they will have that feeling of, okay, yeah, I did business with them, it went well, hey, look, they're out there, they're pushing their business, they're working hard, they're going to be there for me when I need them, and when that time comes, you're going to be the one that they reach out to. So win-win. Right? Okay, we're doing good. We're rocking here. Let's keep going. So the next thing is the direct engagement that you get from it. Okay, so this is one of the big things. This is really the only thing other than having somebody in your shop or you standing in front of them on their location, having a conversation with them. None of the other things that you do to get the word out there, right? Advertising, commercials, flyers, whatever it is. Nothing else has that direct connection that you're going to get from live. So let's talk about those pros. So, whoops, did I skip one? No, I didn't. Okay. Oh my goodness, I did skip. Sorry. I'm trying something different. I split my presentation up. So here, I split my presentation up, and I forgot that I have to actually do it in 2 places now. My apologies. This is live, right? This is how you know it's live, because it's coming through, warts and all. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, so yes, we did that one already. So direct engagement, right? So what is it that they're getting from live? What are you getting from the live? So you're getting that personal touch, right? You're getting that opportunity to present what it is that you have to offer, goods, products, services, whatever that is, in your own special way, right? So yeah, okay, there's nothing new under the sun. We hear this all the time. That's all, truth. But the thing is, you bring something special to it, right? You bring you to it. You bring your own special spin. You bring your own passion. You bring your own knowledge and expectations. Yes, John, I know. Hey, it's live. This happens. So this is something that gives you that direct connection, right? And as you can see, so I'm talking, right? So Jason is here over on YouTube. John is over on Facebook. We're having this conversation live. This is that kind of direct connection that you don't get any other way. And it is that opportunity for you to, hey, show off a little bit, right? Share your knowledge, explain what it is that you have to offer. And by the virtue of doing that, people will pick up on what it is that is different and unique about what your business has to offer. And that's how people make decisions, right? If they're given 3 choices in front of them, they're either going to make a random choice, which really doesn't happen because people want to feel good about their choices. So they're going to want to dig a little bit deeper to make sure that the choice they're making is one that's not going to embarrass them, that they're going to feel positive about, and that they're going to get the results they need from it. And that's all the stuff that you can explain this way when you're talking live. Let's keep going. So the other part of this is, what do your customers get out of it, right? And they get a connection. Before they've even reached out to you, if they're potential customers, they're already starting to build that connection from you, because maybe they're going to watch a few lives before they reach out. And that is pretty typical, right? People don't tend to reach out on the first time they encounter you live. They kind of want to get to know you. They want to get to see how you present yourself, what it is you have to offer. Just like anything else, like nobody, unless it's a really dire need, looks for something and goes out and finds it. Like, okay, if you're plumbing, if you've got a water pipe burst in the basement, okay, that you're going to make a quick decision on. But most of the other things, people are going to do some level of research, thinking about it kind of stuff. And this is the time when they're going to start to look around and compare and get, maybe recommendations from friends and do a little research, maybe check, Better Business Bureau, whatever it is that their process is for doing this. But if they have found you and they've made you a habit through your regularly scheduled lives and your impromptu lives, they're already starting to feel a connection, right? They're getting to know you. Maybe you're having a conversation with them. They're saying something in chat. You're responding. Maybe they're talking to the other people in chat, and that's another way, right, to get to know you and everything that you offer, because they're talking to people that either are also thinking about using your business or maybe have already done business with you. So all of these things are starting to build that connection that they need in order to reach out to you. Same story for your existing customers, right? Your existing customers are now happy, right? They're recommending you. They're giving people links to your live stream saying, hey, you need XYZ. I know somebody who's great. Go check out their, live streams and their content, and you'll understand what I'm talking about and what they have to offer, and you can ask questions. So this also becomes another thing, and they become, basically your biggest fans, and they show up in your chat and they'll help you answer questions and they'll help talk to people for you while you're doing your presentations. So it all becomes one big happy group over time, and people start to get to know each other and they have side conversations, and this is all lovely because this is all a part of that engagement that you're looking to build. And the more engaged your audience is, the more SEO you get out of it, because all of these things are being watched by all of the different venues. And if they see that you're streaming on a regular basis and you have people showing up and those people are engaged, that is going to help you get bumped up when people are searching, whether they're going to send them to your actual live, like you are right now on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time in the US, or if, they are not going to be able to be there for the live, your live show will still be there for them to see, to find through search, and to get the information from. And it will have almost exactly the same impact that having been there for the actual live will have. So, huge, big wins here. All right, let's keep going. Let's see, I'm going to do it this way. Do that one first and then this one. That'll work better. So, next big benefit, right, is strong sales conversions. Right? This is obviously a big one for you. Maybe you're a little curious about how this works for your people. Let's talk about it. Okay, so for you, increase sales, right? Who is not looking for increased sales? Raise your hand. Not me. We're all looking for that. So live stream events can provide better sales conversions. That's been proven now time and again. It's a given at this point. Especially if you are in e-commerce, but even if you're a storefront, I've known many people who have done very, very well doing promotions from, their store, or doing online sales from their store as a one-off, or maybe, once a quarter kind of thing, but it all pays off. Or just doing it as promotion or information sharing. All these things help to build, because again, this is a process. You're going to become an expert, right? You'll be seen as an expert because you're providing helpful information. You're answering questions that people have. You're being proactive about things. And these are all the kinds of things that help build your sales. The difference is you're going to hit a much wider audience. You're going to be much more findable doing it this kind of way. And so you will see an increase in sales. Now, are you going to see it on the very first live you do? No. This is something that builds over time. You have to become a habit with your audience. You have to prove that you're going to be consistent about it, that you're going to talk to them, that you're going to provide that kind of information, that it's not going to be sell, sell, sell all the time, right? And that's very important. You don't want to make everything you do a hard sell. You want to provide information. You want to be engaging. You want to be funny if you can do that. Not everybody can, but if they can. You want to kind of bring them behind the scenes. You want to make them feel a part of your business community, your family, if that's your approach, before they've even done business with you. Because the more time they spend with you, the more they watch your streams, the more they engage with you and your audience, the stronger that bond becomes even before you've actually done business with them. And once you do business with them and blow their doors off with how wonderful you are, well, it's a slam dunk at that point. Okay, so the big takeaway here is that the engagement that people get while watching a live video, while it's live or after the fact, paradoxically, that's the truth here, it feels much more honest and open, and just a more positive type of engagement for each and every person who watches it. Even if they just stay in chat and never say a word, they're feeling more engaged because of the environment and the things that are going on here. So that is a big win there. Okay, so for your existing and potential customers, right? This helps build that confidence in their purchase, whether it's a past purchase or a future purchase. This is all helping to feed into that in a very positive way, because, hey, you're not a shyster, you're not a fly-by-night, you're not going to take their money and run. You're there, you're providing value to them before they've even done business with you, or continuing after they've done business with you. It's not like you've taken their money, given them the stuff, and then disappeared, right? You're there for them on both sides of that equation, right? Whether it's before or after, providing that value, giving them that information, helping them along with whatever their problems or needs are. And as the natural course of things, then you're going to get the sales out of that. So does that sound pretty good? I'm pretty happy about it personally, but that's me. Okay, so we're going to just take a quick second here because one of the hangups I know a lot of people have, and believe me, I understand it. A lot of people, they're like, I want to do, lives. I like the idea, but I have no idea what I would talk about. I got you covered. Okay, so if you sign up for my mailing list, which I don't sell, right? My mailing list exists so that I can keep you up to date on the shows I'm doing and anything else that's going on. Sign up and you're going to get a free ebook. Okay, it's a PDF of 130 different content ideas that will work across all businesses. Okay, whether you're a solo entrepreneur, whether you're selling things on Etsy, or you're got a storefront, or you're a service provider, whatever it is, these 130 ideas will help you get things out. I mean, 130, that takes you well into a couple of years. And the nice thing about it is a lot of them actually branch out into other things. So it's 130 main content ones. So again, that's up there. You go to yourtechcoach.net/content ideas. I asked for like the email address and maybe your first name. I can't remember at the moment. And then that's it. You'll get the ebook, and right there you'll have your content ideas. So that issue is off the table. Okay, you don't have to stress out over your content. 130 ideas will definitely get you where you need to go as you get comfortable with this concept of doing your lives. Okay? Alrighty, let's jump back in. Okay, so onwards and upwards, a deeper understanding. I know, that sounds a little new agey. Stick with me here. So, the benefit for you is the fact that your audience, right, potential or current, hear directly from you, right? There's no buffers. There's no telephone game, right? Did everybody play that as a kid? I don't know. Maybe maybe the kids don't play that anymore. Maybe it's not cool anymore. But when I was a kid, that was the thing. Like, they'd sit us all in a circle. The teacher would whisper something to one of us, and they'd whisper it to the person next to them, and he'd go all the way around, right? And then by the time you got to the end of it, like, it sounded nothing like from what the original statement was. Well, that is exactly what you're avoiding when you're doing a live, because you're going to provide the information, you're going to explain it in the way that they need to hear it, and if they don't understand it, they're going to have that opportunity to say to you, excuse me, I don't know what that meant, could you explain that another way, by throwing a comment into chat. So that is a massive win for you, because you're removing all of those other barriers, right? All of those people who might misinterpret along the way or twist your message. You don't have to worry about it. You can actually just say what it is, that the way you need to say it, and they're going to understand it. And you'll have many chances to actually explain it and explain it and explain it, because that's how this works, right? Nobody gets it on the first try. That's just a human thing. The other thing is that you're going to get out of that interaction a deeper understanding of your audience, right? Again, current or potential customers. The more that you are talking to them, the more they are giving you that feedback on what you're saying, the better information you have to really target your message, to maybe even identify new areas for you to go into that hadn't crossed your mind. Because by having this conversation with them, they're going to just naturally tell you what it is that they're looking for, or what they feel is missing, or what it is they wish was available. Wishes are a wonderful thing. You can also do things that you can't do in any other way, like, real-time polling, right? And you can get true viewer engagement statuses. So on all of the services, whichever one you pick, or if you're going to go to multiples, that's cool too. But you're going to get data back that you're not going to get any other way. Now, sure, you can get your Google Analytics. There's all kinds of stuff out there to give you data about traffic, how many people open your emails, all that kind of stuff, which is all great. You need all that. I'm not saying don't pay attention to it, because you should. This is just another set of data, but it's a little bit different, right? Because not only are you getting that information from the back and forth, but then you're going to be able to go back and track, because there's always people that are out there watching, either if they're watching live, what they call lurking, right? So they're not saying anything, but they're there, and that's totally fine. But you can't engage with them directly as well because they're not saying anything. But you can, over time, start to watch to see when are people coming in, when are they leaving, what's your peak, how many people shared it, all that kind of stuff. The likes, the thumbs up, which, by the way, we like the likes and the thumbs up. So don't be shy. Go ahead. Throw it to us. You can also, people can subscribe to you. Now, the word subscribe changes in some places, like there's this idea of monetization, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I'm just talking in general about the people who sign up and say, I want notifications when this person posts new content. On the platforms, it changes a little bit what the actual word is for that. But all this other information is more data that you're going to get, which will help you as you move along and do more content and come up with new ideas for your business, whether it's promotions or new products or new services, whatever it is. But you're going to be able to see very clearly which are the things that take off and which are the things that maybe are, So you're going to want to look at things like, were there more viewers at the beginning, middle, or end of your stream? Do people go back and rewatch? Which parts are they rewatching? Which ones are they reacting to, right? So you do get more like, hearts or thumbs up or whatever, at certain points or over certain topics. And you'll also be able to see who's sharing and how often, right? So if you're doing, what you may think is, a pretty basic, show about, the day-to-day stuff that you know inside out. But of course, your audience doesn't necessarily know it inside out. So all those things you think everybody knows, perfect content for a show because not everybody knows. But you can also look to see over time which one of those shows gets shared most often, because that's something that is caught people's imagination, right? It's become important enough to them that they want to share it with other people they know. Huge win. And so it's something that you want to spend a little bit more time on, maybe look at it in the context of your business and see how you can turn that into something that maybe is more of a upsell or a attractive piece of your packaging for whatever it is that you are providing for them. All of these things are in pieces of information you can't get on any other way. So this is all crucial feedback that you can get that deeper understanding about your market, your audience, and also you can find out more about them as people, right? Because in the context of conversation, things will come up. Jokes, stories from families, other experiences that they've had. And all of this also feeds into the whole, hey, we're all people we're doing business, but we're all people here, and we can engage and interact on that level, which just makes it a much more pleasant, a much more engaging experience for everybody. And that's how that word keeps coming up. There's a reason for that. Okay, so for your customers, right, the benefit there is they get to be heard, right? A lot of times your customers, your potential customers, your audience feel like they're just sitting around, right, and if they give an opinion, it's going into an empty room. And this is completely not the fact, right, when it's live, right? So for example, the Lazy Gamer just showed up on Mixer. Hello, good to see you, and stopped in to say hello, and I appreciate that, right? And now we're having this engagement with this conversation live because I just saw them, they popped up in here. But also, like if somebody had a question, like a couple weeks ago when I did the show about alternatives for the different Adobe products, right? There was some conversation about the pricing structure for one of the things I recommended. And so people were asking questions. We were able to get into that more. Some of the other people who happened to be in chat at that moment who also have used those tools that I recommended, they gave their input on their personal experiences. So again, they get a chance to be heard. They get information that they wouldn't get any other way, and then they also get that benefit of the deeper understanding of what it is you're offering, because they're able to ask those questions and they're able to, get that information back, and they're able to interact with the other people in your chat. So this is all part of that deeper understanding for everybody. Huge win. Alrighty. This is my favorite. Richer content. Okay. So, when you do the traditional marketing kind of thing, right? Whether you're doing flyers or mailers or email or whatever, everybody's got, and there are very established patterns of, you do this, you do that, you do your layout this way, you do your funnel this way, and that's all good and it's wonderful and it works, and yes, you still need to do it. The point of richer content as far as live streaming goes is you can go so much deeper, so much broader, right? So you're going to do it, on a regular basis, ideally at least once a week. But then you also have the opportunity of just doing it on the fly, right? Something funny happens, you jump on and you share it. Or maybe you're just out on the weekend, hiking, or you've gone into the city and you're, at some museum and something just really sparked for you. And you can then share that live, right? So you're building into that. That's all richer content, right? It's things that maybe only you would normally share with your friends and family. Now you can extend that to more people. And it just gives them a better interaction with you, a feeling more of you as a person, which your business then follows along, right? It's a much more positive experience. And you just start to engage more again like humans instead of just faceless, nameless corporations. Well, not nameless, faceless corporations. Lazy Gamer, thank you so much for the sparks over on Mixer. I really appreciate that. It's so exciting, right? We get the monetization over there now, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying the richer content. So let's get into the hows and whys. I need to do that one there. Okay, I'm going to get into this new flow, I promise. Okay, so for you, right, the richer content leads to repeat viewings and sharing, right? Of course, you've got your branding, right? You've got probably a logo, maybe you're blogging, on your site, maybe you're writing articles on Medium. But again, that's only a sliver of what it is that you have to offer. And this is where live streams really kick in, right? Because you can do things that are unusual or custom to you, right? And it's highly valuable to interact as a human being and to provide that kind of content. Of course, you're going to do your business stuff. I mean, that's a given, right? But when you mix it up with the other stuff, it just makes it much more fun, to be honest, right? And who doesn't like fun? And if you can provide the information about your business while being human and having some fun with it, it shines the best possible light on everything that you do then. And the other benefit to this is the reuse, right? So it's reusable for you, right? Because, for example, when I do these, I also do a native recording. So I'm sending it out to 3 platforms right now. I'm on Mixer. Hi, Mixer. I'm on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. And I am on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. But I'm also creating a local copy because things go wrong sometimes and one of the platforms can die. That happens from time to time. It's nothing to stress out over. Because I can always take my local recording and then push it back up to that platform so that audience, who probably doesn't go to the other sites, with the exception of John, will still get the benefit of the content, right? So that's a good thing. But I can also take this local recording, which is at the highest resolution I can possibly do given my setup here. I can take that and I can chop it up and I can use it for, Instagram or Instagram TV, or I can put it on my website, in a shorter version. There's so many ways that you can repurpose that kind of content. Sometimes I'll jump on and I'll take something I had done previously and I'll show it on Twitch, or I'll show it on Periscope or DLive. So you get a lot of reuse out of it. And that's a big win. You also get the benefit, again, of people being willing to share it. So because that content is out there, if somebody, watched it, enjoyed it, got their information, got their questions answered, and then they're, okay, the holidays coming up, right? Everybody's going out for, the big dinners and the parties and all that, and you're going to have conversations with people. Maybe something's going to come up that just so happens you can take care of, right? You can help. So they're talking to a friend or a coworker or a family member who's looking or struggling with something. And now the person who watched your live can go, you know what? A couple weeks ago, I was watching this live stream for this business that was exactly what you're talking about. Here, let me give you that link. Okay? There is probably no other way that you would have gotten to that person. But because you were doing the lives, because somebody was there, because you were engaging, you answered questions for them, now they're willing to share your content with them. So, big win. So then the other thing is that you are suddenly 24/7, right? So your business never closes when you've got this kind of content out there, because that information is always there. And that is also another benefit for your potential and your existing customers, right? So the big thing right away is that they get the answers and the information that they need to solve their problems, meet their needs, right? That is far and above, number one for them, right? They're getting what they need from you before maybe they've interacted with you, or after they've interacted with you and maybe they need some follow-up. Huge. Or maybe they just really like you now, and now they just want to, hang with you online and get to know more about what's going on. But the big thing is that not only are you there for them on a regular basis being consistent, but that information is there for them on their schedule. So let's say somebody is an existing customer and they're using your product or service or whatever, and then they're like, I remember on a show a couple of months ago, they said something about I could do something else with this. I don't remember what it was. Well, it doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They can go back and they can get that information at their convenience, right? So even if you're asleep or in the Bahamas or wherever, they're still getting their needs met. And that is just another benefit of this. So the lazy gamer over on Mixer says, I'm too lazy for that. I'm assuming you mean the reuse. And that's perfectly fine. The point is that should you ever get inspired, you would have the content to work with, right? Because, hey, this drive space is cheap these days. So you can, store these. And if you don't have the bandwidth or you don't have, the enthusiasm to jump in and repurpose your content right away, it'll still be there for you. So should that moment come, it'll be there. Or again, just as the backup in case something goes wrong, which does. It's not with technology. It's never about if something's going to go wrong. It's always about when it goes wrong. So even if you just use it as a safety net, hey, it's one less thing that you're going to stress out over, which is always a good thing. And then if you decide later you want to repurpose it, you've got it there to do. Jer, hi, how you doing? Okay, so Jer is a great example of somebody who is out there streaming on a regular basis, and then providing all kinds of content. So Jer is an amazing artist. He's over on Mixer. If you want to go check him out, it's Jer Henning, Henning. Love him. He actually did some work for me that I'm getting raves about. So he does multiple streams a week, and he shares his process with you. And I will tell you, it's freaking magic to watch him create, because he starts out with a blank canvas and just creates wonderful things. But along the way, he is so open about answering questions and explaining techniques and talking about all kinds of cool things. And that content is in there, right? So if you occasionally have to miss him because, you gotta work. So occasionally, I miss one of his lives, and I'm always bummed about that, but I can go back and I can catch it as a replay. So that way I'm always up to date and catching all the cool stuff he's doing. He's also really good about explaining the pros and cons of the different tools that are available, and not $1,000 tools, the tools that all of us can reach out, free, reasonably priced. It's just all kinds of stuff. It is truly amazing. So Lazy Gamer is asking, really like Bob Ross? Kind of like Bob Ross, not the fro. Lovely beard though, so there is sort of a crossover there. But yes, I could see that correlation there. Yes, it is sort of that way, except that it's digital art, not painting. So that's just an example of somebody. And then of course, Jared sells his services, right? So he creates art for people. So people who are watched him. That's how I found him, right? So I found him. I was just watching, I was looking around for content. I happened to find him through some other friends, and started watching the way that he created and the way that he worked and the way that he explained things. And I was like, oh man, I want to work with this guy. This guy is amazing. So that's how we started doing business. So Jer is a perfect example of what I'm talking about here. Jer, thank you for coming by. So that was a perfect story to tell right now. I do appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm sure Jerry's okay, stop talking about me. But Jerry's really good at what he does. So if you haven't checked out Mixer yet, or if you have, but you haven't found Jerry yet, go find Jerry. Because he is amazing. Okay, so let me go back here. Got that one. Oh, Jerry, I'm just speaking the truth. Thank you for doing such amazing shows. I really enjoy your stuff. Okay, so we've talked about the richer content. Okay, so now let's get to the one that is a huge benefit. Okay, let's be real. But this is one where it's not really about your customers quite so much. Okay, and that's monetization. Now, you're not going to be able to monetize it right off the bat, right? But over time, you can totally start to monetize as you start to build your audience. So what am I talking about here? Whoops. Sorry, didn't need to do that. So whichever platform you're on, with the exception of Facebook, which kind of dances with it but hasn't really gone there yet, but almost all of the platforms are offering some sort of monetization for the streamers who are streaming on a regular basis. It is a constantly shifting field, which is a good and bad thing. It does make it a bit of a challenge. But over time, as you do this, in addition to selling your goods, your products, your services, you may also be able to start to generate a little income maybe a lot of income. It depends on your stream and the kind of work you put into it, but you will be able to generate some level of income off of the content that you're creating on those different platforms. Now, usually there's a threshold you have to get to. They just changed that on Mixer, so that's not so much the case there anymore, but whatever, these are just other ways that you can do it. So just as an example, like when you get to certain levels on YouTube, right? When you get to one level, you can then get what they call like a vanity URL. So instead of just like a random series of numbers and letters for people to find your content, you could say to them, youtube.com/ whatever your URL is. I'm not there yet. Need more people to go and follow over there. We'll get there. And then when you get to the next level, then you can start to monetize off of ads over there, and also on other platforms. Like on Twitch, you can do that. On Mixer, you can do that. So there's different places where you can do that. And then you can, depending again on the platform, some of them will let people do, so like over on Mixer, like you can do Embers and Sparks, which turn out, over time accumulate into a little bit of a payout for you. On Twitch, there's that kind of a concept, but there's also these things called bits that people can buy and then donate to, and so like it doesn't really matter about the individual ones. I can do a whole show on that if you'd like. Just let me know, and you can let me know there. But the point is that over time, this could start to generate a little something, even if it only generates enough for you to buy lunch. Hey, that's a free lunch once in a while. Hang on a second. But the point, or maybe, you can earn enough to maybe, invest in a better mic or a better camera over time. It doesn't matter. It's just the point that it could be something that adds to the coffers over time. And let's face it, that's a good thing. Now, I didn't put this down as something that benefits your audience, although it kind of does, because if it keeps you doing it, or if it lets you reinvest yourself, or if it just lets you have a good lunch before you stream, that all does, in a way, help your customers, because you'll be more alive and engaged on the stream, but it doesn't directly affect them, so that's why I didn't build out one of those for that. Okay, so Lazy Gamer is asking, come on, get the man a shout. I should. I will do that, actually. That's a good point. The one challenge about doing this yourself is it's a little hard to do those kinds of things quickly. Okay, hang on. No, you're absolutely right, though. I'm glad you said that. Thank you for keeping me honest. One sec. I just gotta get it. Okay, so I think this is how I do this here, right? I need to build, we'll get into that a little bit. You can build, bots and overlays and all that kind of stuff on all these platforms. I haven't done it for Mixer yet, and I really need to. Okay, let's see if that worked. Okay, there we go. So, Lazy Gamer is asking, Coach, you only stream once a week. I've only seen you twice on my schedule. So I stream, it depends. So I'm in different places, different times. So thank you for the question. I appreciate the chance to explain all this. Here I've been doing this once a week, sometimes twice a week. I'm just getting up to speed on Mixer. So I'm getting more into a routine with that. Yes, I'm typing. I like my clicky keyboard. I apologize. I know it drives some people crazy, but I really like my clicky keyboard. So yeah, it's been pretty much once or twice a week. After the holidays, I'm going to nail down a more detailed schedule here for Mixer. On Twitch, I just stream. On Twitch, I'm on twice a week, so I'll be there tonight after the show. So if you want to come hang out on Twitch, I'll be there around 10:30 after I feed the dog and take him for a walk and all that kind of stuff. And so I do that on Thursdays and Friday nights, but sometimes I jump on other times. And then same thing with Facebook. Facebook is pretty much once a week right now. What else? And YouTube is also once a week. So it depends on where it is. So I'm streaming a lot during the week. I'm just not in all the places all the time once a week. I've also started experimenting with DLive just to check that out. And like I said, I also jump on Periscope once in a while. But with the holidays and some things that were going on at work, plus moving over to Mixer, it's kind of forced me to reshuffle things, and I haven't quite nailed down the new schedule, but I will. I also, just once in a while, will jump on, if you can see back here. Yeah, you can, okay. I have been, actually, this is an aside here, but, so, photo albums. I have been scanning the family photos. And I know that's a project a lot of people either want to do or are doing. So I have been sharing that on Mixer and on Twitch mainly. So, yeah. Let's see. So, Lazy Gamer says you have to put in the time to get some sort of reward, accomplish something. So it depends on the platform. And like I said, these things are constantly changing. So you're talking about like the monetization kind of thing. So it used to be on Mixer, since I'm guessing that's what you're interested in, since that's where you are. On Mixer, it used to be that you had to get to partner before you could cash in on any of this stuff. And they don't have, so like over on Twitch, just as a comparison, they have affiliate and they have partner. So affiliate is the easier to get to, and then partner is where you get the more. They've just changed it on Mixer so that all of us now who are streaming can actually get some portion of the embers. The sparks also feed into that. I'm not completely up to speed on it. Actually, Jared probably knows more. And then, eventually you get to partner and then you get more out of it. And then I think at partner also you get some of the ad money also. So it does depend, right? So on YouTube, it's a completely different set of rules. On Facebook, they've played with monetization mainly for the gamers because they've been testing it. I haven't seen it for the rest of us yet, but it's getting there. DLive, of course, has the lemons. And again, I'm not completely sure because I've just started playing with that, is to see, who gets what. I think you have to be at whatever their base level is before you can cash in on those. Don't quote me on that because I'm still figuring it out. So it changes depending on all the different things. The one thing I will say is just by streaming, you're already starting to help your business, and understand when I say business, I'm saying anybody who wants to make money, okay? So that includes the people who are streaming their gaming, the fiber artists, who are, crocheting or doing whatever art, and looking for commissions, that kind of stuff. Jer, who's looking to make money. Like, anybody who's looking for income, I'm sorry, but we're all small businesses, whether we consider ourselves that or not. Solo entrepreneur, artist, whatever it is you want to call it. And by doing this kinds of streaming, you are expanding your audience and you are getting the word out there and you are sharing what's special about what you offer, which will help you monetize also. So that's all good. Okay, I understand. Sitting down at the com and making time to get done what you're after. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, yeah. Jerry, you're a Misty? I had no idea. Yes. Okay, so for my fellow Misty, we're way off topic, but this is such fun. Just so you know, two things. One, Mystery Science Theater is now a 24/7 channel over on Twitch. And of course, they're doing Turkey Day this Thursday. So here in the U.S., it's Thanksgiving on Thursday, and it's a tradition for Mystery Science Theater to do Turkey Day. So don't miss it. It's in all the places. They're going to do it on Twitch and all the other places. But if you go to the usual Mystery Science Theater spots, you can get the information on it. I'm so excited. Haven't heard yet, so I don't know if you're a fan of the latest incarnation of it. We have not heard, and I'm getting a little nervous whether or not Netflix is going to renew the latest version of it. I hope they do because I'm agnostic, Joel, Mike, or Jonah. I love them all. I just love my Mystery Science Theater, so hopefully we're going to get another one out of it. Lazy Gamer said, I did that last year, scan the photos. It is a tough project. I mean, I'm going to be glad when I get it all done. And then, first I have to get them all scanned. Then I have to go back and edit them because a lot of the old photos are so faded. Like, if I didn't do this now, we might have lost them forever. And some of them I may not still be able to save. But it's one of those projects that not a ton of fun while you're doing it, but I think I'm going to feel really good when it's done. Yeah, Mixer has the Ember thing, right? Yeah. Lazy Gamer says YouTube has some sort of COPA law thing affecting kick in on 1210. Yes. And that is, there's a lot of FUD on that, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that is going to be evidently an ongoing thing for a while. And because it's happening, it's a thing, but nobody can clearly explain what the rules are. And it's very hard to follow rules if you don't know what the rules are. If they're not sharing the rules with us, it makes life much harder than it should be. So yeah, there's some good stuff. Daryl Eves has got some content on there. Live Streaming Pros have done some content about it. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit dicey for a while because even like the thing that they're asking you to do, which is to identify whether your content is targeted for children or not, there's some clarity around, like, if you say it's targeted for children, basically you're not going to get advertising, which is complicated for a lot of reasons. But even if you say you're not and they decide you are based on what we don't know, like, there's all kinds of things around that. So it's going to get challenging for a while. Jared says, yeah, those laws have you think, oh, right. Okay, because yes, because you have your daughter on and you're drawing what people might consider, cartoons, even though that's not really what they are. Yeah, so I think I'm in a little bit of a safer zone, although not completely, but a little bit of a safer zone because of my content. But yeah, there's a lot of questions around it, and the fact that we can't control any kid from watching this, right? So I don't know what we're supposed to do about a lot of this stuff. So we'll see. Lazy Gamer says, I'm just waiting for all the cards to fall to make any thoughts on it. Yeah. It's going to be a little chaotic for a while. I feel bad for the unlucky organization or person who gets made, a point of or a case of or an example of, because that's going to happen. That's what happens when these things, hit the ground. If they would give us a little more context, that would be helpful. Jared says, the thing I worry about, you have animations and stuff. Right, animations and stuff. Actually, just having your daughter on screen evidently is a thing, because by having a kid on stream, they say that means that you're drawing more children. Your voice overlays. Yeah, I mean, it's complicated. So, yeah. Oh, thanks for the follow. Soar. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Jared says, I animate things. My content's family friendly. Afraid it's going to get a label. Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't, so yes, the focus right now of this is YouTube, but obviously it's going to roll downhill, right? So right now, the fact that are you streaming, Jer, on YouTube at all? If you are, I didn't know that. That would be interesting. So if you're just streaming on Mixer, you might have a little bit of a window, because I haven't heard anything yet from Mixer that they're doing the same thing YouTube is, but it just means it's coming, right? It means their lawyers are looking at it. So we'll have to wait and see what that's going to do to us. Lazy Gamer, I game. So if I went streaming on YouTube playing a mature rated game, does my channel need to be 18 plus? That's probably the safest way to go right now. But again, just because you market 18 plus, if a kid is interested in the game you're playing, how do you stop them from seeing it? You can't, right? At some point, I'm sorry, but parents have to kick in and do something. So there's a lot, to know here. But we'll all figure it out. That's why I do these kinds of shows. I love the fact that we're having this conversation. Thank you so much for bringing all this stuff up, because this is a great example of how the chat, right, and the conversation and the back and forth helps all of us, right? Because we're all trying to figure this kind of stuff out. And so having this conversation is helpful for everybody, because instead of just being in our own heads trying to figure it out, we can kind of bounce some ideas around, and over time, hopefully you'll all come back. We can continue this conversation as more information comes out, and we can share it and all that kind of good stuff. So this is all good stuff, and I do appreciate it so much. Okay, so the next question for everybody, or my question for you, is if you need help with this, right? If you want to live stream, right, but you're not sure where the heck to begin or what to do, I have two recommendations for you. One is, if you want to do it yourself, and geez, I keep forgetting to make a thing for this, but I will. You want to go and check out livestreamingpros.com. No spaces. livestreamingpros.com. Everything that I do right, I learned from them. Everything I do wrong is on me. This is truth. If you don't have the time, the interest, the physical, mental bandwidth, or the actual internet bandwidth, then I can help you. Because I have figured out, through having done this for a friend's show, I now have fine-tuned a process that will let me produce your live show remote. So what does that mean? That means things like the little, what do they call those? The scan code, right? I'm gonna blank out on the name now. These kinds of presentations, right? Where there's a presentation and then your picture in picture, or you want to go like this. It includes, things like the lower thirds. These are not things that you can do natively always in the applications for the different platforms. Some of them you can, some of you can't. But if you don't want to deal with it, if you just want to click a button and go live, then you need to reach out to me and I will help you with that kind of stuff, because I have got this process and I've proven it. Over 2 years, I have refined it to the point where literally you click a link, we do a little test before the show, make sure your lighting and sound are good, and I do all the rest of it, and you just do your content. So no more excuses, okay? I've now given you 2 different options. If you want to do it yourself, you check out livestreamingpros.com. If you want somebody to run the show for you and you just concentrate on communicating with your audience, then you reach out to me and we will get things rolling. And we can get it rolling very, very quickly because I've really got this nailed down now. So again, it's all about just get out there, do it, start it, build off of it. Don't get hung up on not having everything perfect. Don't get hung up on having like content figured out for a year. You got to start someplace, and then you will layer on top of that. Okay. So Jared says, always learning, always growing. Exactly. And that, I mean, for me, that's the fun part of this, is the fact that it will never stand still. I like the challenge of continuing to learn, and I like the fact that I can go around and meet people like you and, you know, expand my skills, learn things that I would not have probably been able to learn any other way. So it's all good. And it's all stuff that helps build your audience, helps get your word out there. All of this pays off. And frankly, it's fun, right? When you get to have conversations like this, it's fun. There's no two ways about it. All right, so I hear the doggy scratching at the door, so I do need to go and take care of him. I do invite all of you, if you want to come and continue this conversation. I'll be on Twitch. It's Your Tech Coach over there also. I'll be there by 10:30, so we can continue it there. If not, I will be here again. Whoa, no, next week is Thanksgiving. So next week I will do the show Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time because of the holiday. Don't worry about it. I know a lot of people will be on the road, all that kind of stuff. That's the nice thing about the replays. You can always come back and get caught up when you have the time. As always, thank you so much for being here. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. This is great stuff. I love sharing the information. I love hearing back from you. And I look forward to continuing the conversation. See you soon. Bye.